Dauphin Island features several stops on Alabama's coastal connection that you don't want to pass up. The community is home to exquisite natural and educational resources, historic sites, spectacular views, and about 1,700 year-round residents. If you want to see birds, spring brings a huge selection of different species. In fact, Dauphin Island and its Audubon Bird Sanctuary have the distinction of being recognized by Wild Bird magazine as one of the top 4 locations in North America for viewing spring migrations. The island is also one of the 10 most globally important sites for bird migrations from continent to continent, and an incredible 347 species have been reported on the island. First established in 1961 by the Dauphin Island Park and Beach Board, the sanctuary enhanced its status by entering an agreement with the National Audubon Society in 1967. The sanctuary is the first landfall for many neotropical birds that make the 600-mile flight across the Gulf of Mexico from the Yucatan Peninsula. And under adverse weather conditions, large flocks of exhausted birds of many species seek shelter on the island in a truly spectacular fallout. Fall migration, which begins as early as July, is always a busy time on the island. Here you will find shorebirds gathering to store up energy for their long flights. Many species reside here year-round, and a variety of waterfowl, seabirds, and shorebirds fly in during the winter season. Galliard Lake is a favorite spot that is approximately 4.5 acres in size and bordered by tall pines on the north and west. The lake features handicapped accessible boardwalks and a beautiful lake pier. The extensive trail system also includes boardwalks to the Gulf shoreline and swamp and dune observation platforms, out of reach from the occasional alligator. There are also 2 large nesting platforms in the dune area. And speaking of dunes, the beaches of Dauphin Island offer miles of undeveloped beaches and a great place to relax or play in the sun. Even during the busiest times of year, there is plenty of room for everyone. There are fishing piers for anglers and charter boats for deep-water fishing. The shoreline drops off slowly, creating shallow water for family-friendly swimming and fishing. Sun worshipers mix with sport fishermen on the beaches. Swimmers and surfers enjoy the waves while beachcombers walk the shoreline in search of shells and other treasures. Many restaurants are within walking distance, and the culture is one of relaxed enjoyment. A day on the beaches of Dauphin Island is relaxing and refreshing. Whether you're a nature lover, bird enthusiast, history buff, or beachcomber, Dauphin Island, part of Alabama's coastal connection, has a little something for everyone. The Estuarium at Dauphin Island Sea Lab is an exciting educational facility highlighting the 4 key habitats of coastal Alabama: the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta, Mobile Bay, the Barrier Islands, and the northern Gulf of Mexico. The Dauphin Island Sea Lab was established in 1970, with the public estuarium being opened in 1998. The facility includes a 10,000-square-foot exhibit hall and a living marsh boardwalk. Here you can learn about many of the plants and animals that are found in the estuary and its surrounding marine habitats. These interactive exhibits will expand your understanding of the Mobile Bay area, the 4th largest estuary system in America. The research programs at the Sea Lab range from biogeochemistry and oceanography to systems ecology. Although most research focuses on the nearshore and estuarine processes of Mobile Bay, field sites of this lab can be found around the world. Don't miss the aquaria in the Gulf of Mexico Gallery, which includes saltwater tanks that depict sand and rock bottoms, an artificial reef, and sargassum communities. These aquaria contain octopus, barnacles, lobsters, eels, seahorses, red snapper, sharks, jellyfish, and schooling fish. Here you can get a hands-on experience with aquatic animals at one of the touch tanks, a one-of-a-kind experience. The Dauphin Island Sea Lab is also an active weather station providing local information to the National Weather Service of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, in Mobile. These instruments continuously record water temperature, salinity, and dissolved oxygen in the water. A visit to the estuarium will help you to understand our delicate ecosystem and how we fit in. It is located just a stone's throw from the Mobile ferry dock, right on the water. From marine life to military history, Dauphin Island is also home to historic Fort Gaines, the site of one of the most famous battles of the Civil War, the naval attack remembered today as the Battle of Mobile Bay. Construction of Fort Gaines, which was named for a hero of the War of 1812, General Edmund P. Gaines, began in 1821. Budget overruns and construction challenges delayed the fort's completion until 1861. Southern troops quickly seized possession of the fort, and along with Fort Morgan on the east side of the bay, protected the entrance to Mobile Bay. The prospect of facing Southern guns from east and west kept Union forces out of the bay until 1864. Then, on August 3rd of that year, 1,500 Union troops landed on Dauphin Island and began to move toward Fort Gaines. Confederates from the fort fought with them as they advanced, slowing their progress while hoping for additional reinforcements from the city of Mobile. Meanwhile, the naval attack began on August 5, 1864. Admiral David Farragut attempted to run past the forts into the bay with the USS Tecumseh leading the way. Fort Morgan returned fire. Soon after, the Tecumseh hit a torpedo and sank. Farragut ordered the fleet to keep going despite heavy fire and forbidding conditions. The fleet finally broke through and soon focused their fight on Fort Gaines. For the next 3 days, the Union Army and Navy bombarded the fort. Realizing that he could not hold it, Colonel Charles Anderson surrendered Fort Gaines and its 800 men on August 8, 1864. Exhibits including the huge anchor from the Admiral's flagship, the USS Hartford, are featured in the fort. Other historic pieces are the original cannons used in the battle, an operational blacksmith shop and kitchen, tunnel systems to the fortified corner bastions, and similar features. The museum details the history of this period, as well as the French colonial presence beginning in the late 17th century. The site is considered to be one of the nation's best preserved Civil War-era masonry forts. It is a great stop for a better understanding of the end of the Civil War and the Battle of Mobile Bay. It is located just past the Mobile Bay ferry dock. As long as you are near the ferry dock, take the afternoon to enjoy an unusual travel experience, ferrying across the bay to historic Fort Morgan in Gulf Shores. The ferry provides service year-round, traveling back and forth approximately every hour and a half, depending on the season. As you drive across the ramp right onto the ferry, you'll begin to relax. Once on board, you can get out of your vehicle and watch the scenery from the deck or an observation platform while feeling the cool Gulf breezes. It is a pleasant 45-minute ride where you can enjoy the beauty of the day, spot Gulf sea life, and relax with friends. The trip by ferry will save you hours of time compared to traveling the roadways and offers a nice drive on the other side along scenic Fort Morgan Road. The first run is early morning from Dauphin Island, and the last trip leaves usually around sunset. There is a fee, but this picturesque trip by the sea, which offers a unique viewpoint of coastal Alabama, is well worth it.